Hey, this morning I want to talk a little bit about serving, and we will be talking about this over the next few weeks. If you were here last week, we talked about, so there's a couple of things. On the chairs, you'll see these pieces of paper. It goes into the details of the different serving areas and where you might want to consider serving. And then if you see these on the back of the chairs, this is a QR code. You can scan that. It'll take you to a form you can fill out, which has some of the same information on it. You don't have to sign up right now. We won't actually be scheduling this until September, but I would ask you to start praying about where you can serve. And this morning we're going to hear from actually 4 different teams. It was going to be 3, but now there's 4. From people who are the team leaders for these teams. And I just want you to hear about how each of those areas of service works, so you can consider whether you would like to serve on them. So let's see, Randy, can you come back up here? Okay, Randy is he is leader of our prayer team. And so I'm going to just, Randy, what is a typical Sunday like for a volunteer on your team?
I think, when we pray for people, many times there isn't somebody who comes back for prayer, but you never, I guess the anticipation of it, you really never know what you're going to pray about. So, it's really, as God brings something up and you pray for people. Sometimes, you see fun answers to prayer, and sometimes, times you don't see answers, but that's the fun thing to look back and see how God has answered prayers that you've given for people.
Yeah, so this is for people, the prayer team is specifically for people who will stand back in the prayer corner after church, and about how long does it usually take for a person to serve? Like, what amount of time do they usually spend back there?
Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, unless, yeah.
So 5 or 10 minutes, that's all it takes. And then what kind of person would you say thrives in this role?
I think of, the last summer when we were talking about James, in James 5, it talks about how Jeremiah was a man like the rest of us, yet he prayed and the rain stopped for 3 years, and then he prayed again and the rains came, right? And I think the kind of person who is expecting that God is much bigger than we ever thought he was, and seeking for and I guess you'd say new boundaries in learning about God,
Okay, and what would you say is the best part about serving on the prayer team, and like rewards and benefits?
I think, as I said before, looking back and seeing, the answers to prayer and how God answers prayer in ways that you would never expect, and that takes a little time sometimes to see answered prayer. Sometimes it happens quickly, and sometimes you never, like I said, never really perceive what answers, and maybe the answers to prayer aren't given in our lifetime. But yeah, it is really neat to look back and see how God has answered certain prayers that you would never expect, how he would have answered them. And yeah, I think, yeah, you see it, and there's nothing, I guess, more challenging, I think, because, God says, says things in his word that are, frankly just hard to believe, right? And I think you need to come with an attitude of, like, I remember Maury, our pastor, Maury would often say, I'll quote that verse where he says, you know, I believe, help my unbelief, right? And so I think that's the challenge there.
Thank you, Randy. If anybody has any questions specifically about serving on prayer team, if you could talk to Randy. He will know more than me, but I'm also available if you have any questions. Next, I want to call up Yvonne Andrews. Okay, Yvonne is the leader of our coffee corner team. And we know how important this is, coffee on Sunday morning. So Yvonne, tell us what a typical Sunday would look like as a volunteer on Coffee Corner team.
Well, to set up, probably most of you have all been in there for coffee, so you see how the counter kind of looks. But all that stuff is put away, hidden during the week, so we have to take it out on Sunday morning. And it's all pretty handy as far as the cups and all that. The creamers and that are in the fridge, stainless steel fridge. That's the one we use. And all the paper cups and so on is handy there, and the other ones, and the cabinet. Julie has a list there of everything that needs to be done. And I would say probably we should have everything ready by 9:30 for people to come, because people like to come and have coffee and chat a bit. So, and then, of course, you know, what comes out has to go back. So then when classes start, which will be starting this fall, we have to do the cleanup, put everything away, and put the cups in the dishwasher and have it ready to start. So it's pretty simple. It's a fun little volunteer job.
Okay, and what kind of person would you say thrives in a role serving on Coffee Corner?
Well, I guess whoever likes to serve people. And that's one way that we can serve people is with coffee. And like you said, people like their coffee on Sunday morning. So if you like to talk to people, you like to smile, and you like to... A lot of times we have new people that come, and they come for coffee. You kind of get to know them just a little bit, because we can't all talk to people after the service. So that's a good way to kind of talk to new people also. And if you do have new people coming, invite them to come over and have a cup of coffee with you before church. And then afterwards, before classes start, we have coffee, and Julie usually has cookies there for us, but a lot of times people bring baked things. So if you do that, which is fine. If not, that's okay. We have cookies. Kind of let Julie know, so then she wouldn't have to prepare. So if you like to chat a little bit and pour coffee, join the Coffee Corner team.
You know I'm making those cookies every Sunday from scratch.
And there's about 4 different kinds.
And what would you say is the best part? What are the rewards and benefits of serving on the coffee team?
Well, I guess I've always been ever since high school. I guess food has been my thing. I worked in a cafe. In high school, I'm done.
Test. Okay.
I don't know. Me and microphones, we never have gotten along. So anyway, ever since I've been in high school, I worked in a cafe. then when I stayed home and didn't work when my kids were small, I went back to work and it was McDonald's. So here at church, it's coffee corner. It just seems like I can't get away from food. So anyway, it's one way that I can volunteer. And you've probably heard me say, I can't sing, I can't play, I can't dance, can't do the media back there. But you know, I can serve people and I can serve the Lord by serving coffee and trying to be, you know, chat a little bit and it's rewarding for me. And you know, it's open for anyone to do that, and we even are encouraging our young people to be involved in that too if they would like to. And perhaps you might be with an adult to start, so as you know, you learn the ropes and everything, but we just welcome anyone who'd like to come and serve coffee and cookies and just enjoy the time together.
Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. If anybody has any questions, Yvonne is definitely the person to talk to about Coffee Corner. Okay, next we're going to have Troy Reno. Troy is our leader of the media team, which is sound, slides, and streaming. Troy, so what does a typical Sunday look like for someone who serves on the media team?
Well, first of all, we're not supposed to have a microphone issue right before the media team leader comes up. Sometimes that happens. But anyway, on a Sunday morning, the media team, we like people to show up right around 8:30 or so, and the service starts at 10, so you got about an hour and a half to prepare. We're doing several different things back in the media room to get started before 10 o'clock.
Okay. So what kind of person would thrive in this role?
Well, it's a team, so that's, if you like to be a team player, you'll thrive in this role. There's several things that we need to do. Streaming is one, slides is one, and sound is one. So we got three main areas. And people that like to work with computers, technology, and music and sound, those are the people that will really thrive in this area.
Okay. What would you say is the best part of serving on the media team?
Well, it's just kind of a fun atmosphere. It's like making a movie every week. You have to like put it out into streaming. There's people out here in the audience. We'd like to serve the congregation. I mean, the whole thing is set up to serve the community and to glorify God, and that's why we're here and that's why we do it. And I think the people that are involved really get some satisfaction, you know, when they pull something like this off every week. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and if you like to learn new things, this is something for you, because there's a lot of things back there. When I started doing this, I had no clue about any of it, but it's fun to learn, and yeah, it's just fun to be a part of.
You want to talk about what's happening tomorrow night?
Yes. Tomorrow night, we will be having sound training. A guy named Dallas is going to come in from Tricorn Audio. He helped us originally set up this soundboard, but he's going to come in and he's going to work with us to help us improve what we're already doing. But that's going to be at 5:30 tomorrow. And if you're at all interested in being part of any part of the media team, not just sound, it might be fun for you to come and just listen to what Dallas has to say, what he wants to teach us, how he wants to help us. And you kind of get a feel for what goes on in the media room overall. So, yeah, 5:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, Troy. And so if you're interested in that at all, talk to Troy. You can also talk to Tessa. She is pretty familiar with everything back there, too. Okay, the last one, the surprise person, is going to be Sandy Tellahay. She's not going to be here next week, so we can't do this next week. Sandy is our leader of the welcome team. So, the welcome team is when you come in the front door, those are the people that are standing there welcoming you. So, Sandy, what is a typical Sunday like for somebody on the welcome team?
Just to be at the front. I know I was teasing Bonnie this morning. She's been the face of the greeter team week after week after week, and she always has this beautiful smile on her face. And you feel welcome the minute you walk in the door, just because of the presence that she has. And she's the kind of person we're looking for, somebody who just really loves people and radiates really the love of God for people too.
Yeah. Bonnie is one of those people who she's like a snowbird, so she only is here during the summer months, but she serves still, and she serves a lot, actually. She takes, anytime somebody's gone, she'll jump in there and take their spot. So what kind of person would you say would thrive as a welcome team?
It doesn't hurt to have more of an outgoing personality, but if you're not real noisy, you can still be part of the welcome team. I like people. I taught fitness for a long time, so being around people and speaking to people, that's sort of and I'm a salesperson now. I swore I'd never be one, but I am one. And I love doing that. And there's nothing more fun to me than having people come in the building and to know their names, know who they are, know a little bit about their story. And so we're looking for people who are really interested in people.
Yeah, and what would you say is the benefit or rewards of serving on welcome team?
You know, there really is so many. One of the benefits is sometimes Julie will say to me, shoot, I forgot to get that person's name. And the people on the greeter team tend to find out what people's names are. So it's a way to keep track of who is coming and who is going. And so that's just one of the benefits, is really getting to know the people that we worship with. And I grew up in a small church, Paul and I, and we knew everyone by name. We knew their families, we knew their stories, and I love that. And it's one of the things that I love about this church, is that I know the stories and the faces and the names of a lot of the people that come here. So this really is a home church. It's not just my church, it's my home. And it's very important for me, and I think for most who do the greeter team, to really know the people and love the people you worship with.
Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, one thing I would just add about welcome team is a lot of people are like, I don't know who's new and who's not, and I don't know these people's names. And I would say that if you do know everyone's names, and if you do know everyone who's been here and who's a visitor, then we definitely need you on the welcome team. But that is like no one. I would think I should know everyone, and there's still people that I don't know. And frankly, if you ask somebody, if they're new and they've been going here most of their life, then they will forgive you, hopefully. I've had that happen. Okay.